Hello and welcome to the Canmore Town Council candidate interviews. I'm here today with James Strickert. James has been a Bow Valley resident for over 20 years and he's the owner-operator of Strickly Service. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
James, how do you plan to balance Canmore's growth with preserving its small town character and surrounding natural areas?
Well, I would like to see us build a large sports complex, something that can bring the community together. I know we have some land still available where we could actually build it. So before we keep building more low-income housing and things like that, I think we should seriously look into having something for the community, such as large arena for the junior A hockey players, a walking path for seniors, right, for the indoor in the winter time, and just something like Airdrie or Cochrane seem to have. That and upgrading our water treatment plant would be ideal for the community itself. Yeah, just something to, make the town a little stronger.
Great. And what strategies will you support to manage tourism so it benefits our economy without overwhelming local infrastructure or housing availability?
Sorry, what was the start of that one?
What strategies will you support to manage tourism?
Oh, to manage tourism. Yeah, so I'd like to make better decisions for locals, and that would be mostly looking at our road systems and trying to make sure that we are still able to drive around our own community, because I know in the wintertime it's less biking, although everybody seems to think it's going to be good to bike at -40. I just want to better understand what our decisions are and hopefully persuade our council to make better decisions for the locals of this community.
Great. Housing affordability is a very hot topic in Canmore. What solutions would you propose and support to increase the supply of affordable and workforce housing for our local residents?
Well, I believe building apartment buildings rather than spreading out in a vast nature. Like urban sprawl is probably the worst thing this valley could see. So I believe maybe building higher up and apartment building style for the low-income housing. And I think, as long as people have a place to call their own, they'd be happy with it.
A little bit about public infrastructure. Much of Canmore's infrastructure, especially underground beneath Main Street, and some water systems and roads are aging in need of major repair. How would you prioritize investments in the roads, trails, water systems, and perhaps public transportation?
Well, for me, water is a big one. So I believe upgrading the sewer and water main systems in Canmore would be great, as long as we upgrade our water treatment plants so we can have safe, clean water. And yeah, just focus on that stuff and try and keep the roads so they're moving much better than they are now. So maybe fix some of the lighting problems and the no turn rights.
The downtown core is looking to be changing quite a bit in the next 10 years. What is your vision for the future of Canmore's downtown and commercial districts?
Well, downtown especially, I'd like to see it built up higher. I'd like to see some rooftop patios where people can actually enjoy the views and enjoy the weather in the summertime. I'd also, if it's 3 stories, I think that'd be perfect. Maybe have some bridges across, maybe have a mall at the top people can walk around and, cross the main street, and then build a parkade in that parking lot area instead of more condos, because I believe we actually need a place to park our cars in Canmore, because again, it's not warm all the time. -40, nobody's walking or riding, or maybe some are, but they're crazy.
So far, Canmore has been lucky in terms of wildfires. What climate adaptation or mitigation strategies would you champion to make Canmore more resilient to wildfires, flooding, or other climate-related risks?
Well, for that, I would try and speak with professionals and academics and see what their insight is into this whole fire thing. Maybe build some water towers in specific areas that we could actually combat the fire as it's coming. Just store water from the snow or from the mountains themselves and try and have areas where we could put out the fire immediately.
Thank you. Arts and culture and recreation are very important to our town. How do you see the town supporting it so that it can strengthen community life?
Well, I've been a strong supporter of Folk Fest. I used to volunteer there for years. I'd like to bring in more festivals, actually, and something with carnival rides for kids, because I don't think most of our festivals that we have downtown are not aimed towards kids in this community. So I'd like to see things where the kids can actually go out and enjoy. So whether it be like small carnival rides and throwing the ball in the pin or whatnot, but just having a larger artisan market at these festivals would be great. So if you could do arts mixed with festivals, I think that would go a long way and hopefully get the kids a better place to go on when they're time off in the summer.
They say it takes a village. So how will you involve residents in major decisions and make council more transparent and accountable to the community?
Well, through my work, I'm fortunate enough to be able to speak with everybody in town, well, most people in town, and I'll often ask them, I'd like to know what they'd like to see. I'd be able to hopefully tell them what we are doing, but that's only if I get in, and I'd like to find out what everybody else's ideas are, because I think it's important to hear from everybody else. And also, I think most people have my phone number, so don't hesitate, but hopefully it's about business.
Being new to this platform, tell us one thing about you that you want the public to know.
Well, I've been in construction for probably 30 or more years, so I kind of understand the way we should be building and the way what we should be doing for the community. I did sewer and water main for a couple years in Markham, Ontario while I was in university, and I understand a lot about the water systems. But yeah, just making life better for people that run their businesses. Like a lot of people have to drive around during the day, me being one of them, and I think we really need to focus on how we move around in the town itself, and hopefully see if we can mitigate maybe the train problem, but yeah, we'll see.
So would transportation and accessibility towards moving throughout the town be one of your main issues?
I think there's a few issues, but I think transportation would be a big one. And I still don't understand why we have an old folks home on one side of the train and a hospital on the other. So if we could find a way to at least cross the tracks towards Banff somewhere that we could at least get over, and that might even save lives in the end. So we'll see. But transportation, yeah, for sure.
Thank you, James, for being here today, and thank you for watching. You can see all the candidates' interviews on YouTube channel, CanmoreAlberta.com, and you can learn more about all the candidates at the upcoming forums. A full schedule is on the Town of Canmore website, and don't forget to vote on October 20th.
Thank you.